got a bruise on my wrist. Probably from my wrist is bruised.
Good? Okay, once you hit 6. Yeah. Okay, it's 6 p.m. Let's call this meeting to order. And to begin with, Pledge of Allegiance. Mrs. Acker, would you please lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, for the approval of the agenda, there is one change. We will not be addressing the 2025-26 school year calendar. So I'll move to approve the agenda with that change. Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Okay, agenda is passed. Madison second, yes. Okay. All right, informational reports, starting out with Dr. J.
Well, governing board, guests, thank you for all being here today. Just a couple of things. So first off, Little Falcons Preschool has started some after-school programs. So they now have a dance program, and they're going to be starting a soccer program. So I want to shout out to Denise for her work in getting that going and trying to find additional activities for Little Falcons Preschool. They also had a very successful clothing drive over Christmas and the holidays, and they did this for Phoenix Children's Hospital, and they had a lot of people participate in that and to get clothes to those in need. So again, I believe they caroled during that time. So Little Falcons have been very busy, and it's a great program for anyone looking for preschool. McDowell Mountain had Shop with a Doc, and that was very successful. So I want to thank Ms. Reichler and everyone who's involved in that, helping connect our community with our students with community doctors. And then also we had at Fort McDowell last night, I did a honors and gifted night for parents out there, talking about plans for the elementary school in the future, and then also our Innovate 21 program at the middle school, FHU at the high school, and AP Capstone at the high school. And I will be doing that for another one here at the district on January 23rd. Is that right? I can't see it very well. 6:30 to 7:30. I'll be in this learning center for our 5th, 6th, and 7th grade students, learning about advanced and accelerated coursework that we offer. And then I will move over at 7:30 to the lecture hall, and I will follow Mrs. Pinto's presentation on, she's going to be having the 8th grade parents over for 8th grade move-up night to the high school, and I will have an hour session after that for 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade parents to learn about FHU, AP Capstone, and different opportunities that we have. So it's only been a week, but with that, I conclude my comments. Oh, see, I knew it. There was a good chance I'd forget. We have 2 books that came out of the literary committee that will be on display, which is the next step in the process. So we have the Swiss Family Robinson book, and we have Life of Pi. So those 2 books will be on display for anyone to come take a look at, and then it will come to the governing board in the future for approval. Now, I conclude my comments.
Any questions for Dr. Jane? Hearing none, let's move on. So, district celebrations, starting out with McDowell Mountain. Ms. Reichler?
Okay, now that I got all mic stuff, all that info going on, I'm going to call upon our first Falcon. I'm going to start with Miss Sweet. If you can come up here and join me. She loves this stuff, she really does. So I am thrilled to recognize Miss Joy Sweet for Falcon of the Month. Joy came to us from the preschool, and she was all gung-ho. I remember all the phone calls and all the communication we had when she said, yep, I'm going to be your PE teacher. And I was thrilled because athletics is all about joy. Or joy is all about athletics. In Joy's PE classes, she goes beyond teaching those physical skills. She teaches life lessons in teamwork and perseverance and sportsmanship and how to approach competition, and it's all done with grace. Whether they're winning or losing, she's teaching these kids to just keep going. She is creative, and she designs all these fun games to do. I know with her, during Halloween, she had Halloween bowling and things like that, and she's always got some theme going on in her class, and her class is really the highlight of a lot of our kids' day. And her dedication goes beyond our gym. She's always willing to lend a hand. She's always like, Val, what can I do to help you? She's like, I got 20 minutes. What can I do for you? And I really appreciate her asking me that all the time. Just recently in December, I think it was, right, when we did the Elks hoop shoot. November. We did the Elks hoop shoot. I was like, Joy, help me. And she did. She jumped right in, took over, and kept going with it. We had a great turnout for it. The kids loved it. And we're hoping to inspire some future Falcon basketball players. I think we have a little team going already. Yeah, so Joy, I appreciate all of your hard work and the impact you're having on our kids. So thank you. So, with that, we get some goodies. You get that for being the amazing you. You get a favorite challenge point. And
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You are very welcome. Okay, and my student Falcon of the month is Miss Piper Brodsky, whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday, sweet girl. So I've known Piper for quite some time, and I am honored to name her the Falcon of the Month. She's a shining example of our Falcon way. She demonstrates how she can be respectful, responsible, safe, and kind at our school. She has an amazing, She has an amazing work ethic, and she completes all of her assignments in class, and she just does amazing helping others there as well. And she's always striving to do her best. I see that when I come and visit often. So she's always got a smile there, which is fantastic. She greets new students with a warm smile. I know whenever I see her, she's like, hi, Miss Reichler. And she's always polite about it. I love it. So Piper, thank you for being such a positive role model in our school. We love you. I love you. So you too get this fun award. And this is really cool. It's a challenge fund. PTO. Okay? And then we gotta wait for Chris and Mom. I think we should sing her happy birthday. We do that. Let me sing to her. Would that be terrible? It's a song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Piper. Happy birthday to you. Gotcha. Thank you, you guys. Sorry. Thank you.
about.
Too bad nobody brought cake, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe next time. Okay, on to the middle school, Dr. Wildrer.
So my staff for the Falcon of the Month was not able to make it tonight, and that was going to be Miss Brittany Etchen, my new social studies teacher in the I-21 program. So she's been doing amazing things. I'm very proud of her. But my one student who is here, and his name is Jaden Newsome in 8th grade. Right back there. Come on up, Jaden. This is how I see him every morning when I greet him. He's very quiet, and I'm always trying to ruffle his feathers. See, that's the look I get. I love it. I think this is going on year 3 now. Yes, I still get the same look. I love it. So when I talk to his teachers, they say how dedicated he is to his work and his studies and helping others, and he always does his personal best. He approaches his work with remarkable diligence, and he's generally passionate about his learning. He constantly demonstrates the Falcon Way, I say it every day, of how to be respectful, responsible, safe, and kind, and he does that. He is definitely a teacher's dream to have in class. He may be silent, and those are the ones we always want to encourage to, go outside that quiet. Yes, and when he does, he's so helpful, and we totally appreciate all that you do to help your teachers and your classmates, and maybe I'll get a smile one morning. Congratulations, Jaden. You will get a smile. Come here. Oh, yay.
Watch out, Rich.
Good job. Thank you.
Okay, on to the high school. Mrs. Pinto.
Good evening. I'm going to start with my student. If Melanie Gillette could come up, please. Melanie is an exceptionally hardworking and respectful student. She consistently demonstrates responsibility and kindness towards her classmates and staff, always greeting everyone with a warm smile and a gentle hello. Melanie eagerly volunteers to try new things and actively participates in many school activities. As a new student from the Philippines, she has done a remarkable job immersing herself in our community. We are thrilled to have welcomed Melanie and that she is a true leader to the Falcon Way. Congratulations, Melanie. One more here. And for my staff for this month is Christina Robinson. So Christina has been an invaluable asset to our school community this year. she joined the all-female football chain gang for the high school football season, showcasing her willingness to step up and get involved. Christina consistently goes above and beyond, frequently helping out by subbing for our teachers during her prep period, often more than once, and assisting with various sporting events beyond football. In the classroom, she keeps her students engaged with creative activities and experiments that spark curiosity and learning. Beyond her professional contributions, Christina is a trusted and calming presence for many of her students. Many of them see her as their go-to person for guidance and support. Her kindness and approachability extend to her colleagues as well, and she's always willing to lend a helping hand. Thank you for your unwavering dedication to our students, your coworkers, and our entire school community.
All right, next up is retirements. Dr. J, are you doing this one,
Transportation.
or who?
I'm sorry, I don't have the agenda in front of me. Here's number one.
Number one is Lisa Cartagena.
Okay,
Yeah.
then Val is doing Lisa.
Okay. It's Lisa, Rick, then Nancy.
Are we skipping over transportation? Are we skipping over transportation?
Yeah.
Well, this is pretty easy for me. Hello again. Okay, so this was a surprise. I didn't even know you were coming today, but congratulations.
Thank you.
So this is easy for me because I have known Lisa for a long time. She was you've been in the district 28 years, am I right?
Would have been almost, yeah,
Just
27.
about, okay,
Yeah.
27 years. And I remember Lisa in kindergarten first. That's where I remember you. And I was doing my student teaching, which was 20 years ago or so. And she was in the classroom, and she was wonderful. And I remember her helping all students and doing all things, always with Mrs. Matus, if I recall. They were just like amazing partners. And then as years went on, Mrs. Cartagena went off to preschool, and she was part of my daughter's life. And she was just wonderful for her. She's been an amazing teacher for kids and support for our district and for all of our staff. Everyone she's encountered, she's always asking, what can I do to help? Fast forward years, you'd have to fill in some of those blanks for me. I think she worked up front at our desk at McDowell, and she was just super supportive up there, I do recall. And then here I am, principal of McDowell, and I was like, I got Lisa, perfect. The world is great. And so Lisa and I came back together to work together, and she helped me with all things. Val, don't forget this, Val, do this, Val, do that. And then one day she comes and says, I need to go and retire again. And I said, and I'm thrilled for her because she went to go do her. And she's just been an amazing part of my life, part of kids, part of this district. And it was a hard loss for me. And I just miss her. And I love her, but I always wish her the best. So congratulations. So you got this cool pin and your challenge coin, and there's a fun black box. We can put that there for a second. Okay. And of course, thank you. You were very welcome. So now we have to smile for the There's so much more. That was off the cuff. Don't the angle is such that I did that.
this for Rick or Nancy?
This will be for Nancy.
Okay.
So Nancy Nichols. All right, so I'm gonna present here for Nancy because I had the privilege of working with Nancy as high school principal for a few years there when I was high school principal at Fountain Hills High School. And Nancy has been with us for 13 years, since 2011. And as a role as a paraprofessional, she one, as a principal, I always knew she was consistent, she hardworking, always helped out, always picked up to lend a hand where needed, and one of the most reliable employees that I worked with as principal there, and tons of professionalism. The number of students that she made a difference for in her career is just, it's a massive number. And my mother was a paraprofessional when I was growing up, and I know what a big job that is and how much it means to kids to have that additional help in the classroom. And I still will be out with my mom, and she'll run into a former student who will thank her for her work. So on behalf of all the students over the last 13 years, the several principals you've worked with, and lots of teachers, I know the teachers alone, we're so happy to have you in their room helping out over the years. So we wish you the best in retirement, and just know that if I call, you can pick up, because sometimes I do like to get our retirees back in the classroom. So.
Watching a lot of YouTube car chases.
Okay. So anyway, we have our crystal apple here for you, and we have our new coin and the pin. Okay. Let's give it up for Nancy. He really wants to retire. One more. Yep. I don't believe Rick can make it tonight. Is Rick here? He informed us he was not going to be able to make it tonight. I do want to say a couple words because, again, I've worked with Rick for about 7 years off and on. And as a building principal, you're head of maintenance at your site. Your plant foreman does a lot of work. And so I had Rick on speed dial for years. And whenever I called, he would always get right back to me and help me find something we couldn't find, fix something that needed to be fixed, help set up for something. My joke with him is there's a few pieces of furniture I think he moved 4 or 5 times for me over 4 years when I was principal there. But Rick has been with the district for a long time. He knows a lot about the district, and we hope that he will stay visiting with us and come by and continue to lend his knowledge of Fountain Hills School. So even though he's not here tonight, let's give a round of applause for Rick Harris for all the years.
Okay, on to fall sports recognition. Ms. Wayman, are you doing this?
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for having us. We're here tonight to recognize our cross-country, volleyball, and swimming athletes that all made playoffs or have some sort of state award from this past fall season. So our coaches are all prepared to celebrate their athletes, and they have way more detail and things they'd like to share with everyone. So we're going to start with cross-country, Coach Hall. And children.
Thank you. So the last time I was here to celebrate cross country, I had Colby and 2 seniors, and I knew that Colby and I would be returning. And over last spring, Allie and Racine took their running to the next level by lowering their mile time to 6:10. Very impressive. And so I knew, okay, I'll be back with 3. And we trained hard all summer. We started our cross-country season, all 3, with very high rankings in our division. And they maintained that throughout the season. They stayed healthy, we stayed consistent, we trained smart, great races throughout. We hosted our Fountain Hills Invitational with over nearly 70 schools came, so that was a success, as well as our trip to California. They all ran well in San Diego, and then of course we made wonderful memories at Disney the next day. They qualified, I hate to say easily, but they definitely deserved it. These are great runners, and they earned their spot. Colby at the state championship, he improved his place, he improved his time, so we made a lot of progress there. Allie and Racine both ran great races. And so Racine is our senior. She will be moving on after one more track season. But Allie and Colby will be back, and I intend to bring them back to state. And not only that, but they'll be bringing up the next generation of runners. Our middle school, we brought back the favorite tradition of Run Club, which is very successful. And then Miss McDonald has over 20 on her middle school cross-country team. And those are great, talented kids, and we're looking forward to bringing them up as Falcons as well. So we have great leaders here and just great runners and kids. So I'm very proud of them. Thank you.
Okay, and then next we have Coach Schultz and the swimmers.
School board members and Dr. Jagodinsky, thank you for having us here today. I'm beyond proud to have 7 representing our school this year. We had 14 on the team, so half of the team made state, which is not a very small feat. These swimmers are not only great swimmers, but they're excellent in the classroom. This group has a GPA of a 3.85 cumulatively. So. And some people don't know that the swim team does practice at 5:30 in the morning before school. So they have to manage their time very, very well in order to get to bed on time, make sure that they're, studying and all that. So that's kind of a unique thing that we do as the swim team, and mainly because our season is in August, and I would probably have heat stroke if I was out on the deck at 4 in the afternoon. So. Anyways, so we have 7 that qualified. We had 2 relays. Our relay swimmers were Jacob Summershield. He's a senior. And then James Fessenden. And I'm looking forward to having James, coming up. He is a sophomore and has actually started doing club swim, so you will definitely see him next year as well. We also had Avery Evans, a senior. Kaya Evans, sophomore. Quentin O'Connor, freshman. Ellie Vickers, sophomore. And Natalie Owers, our junior. And what's kind of nice is, they have a big, a lot of people cheering them on, but we have 4 swimmers that also play basketball, so we really encourage our teams to do multiple sports, and it's really nice to see the support, so thank you. I just want to give you a couple quick highlights. We had a great season, obviously. Natalie Owers set 2 new school records. Avery Evans was 5th in the 100 back and 8th in the 200 free at state. Kaya swam his best time in the 100 fly. Quentin, our sophomore, he dropped 3 seconds off his 100 back time at state. That's unbelievable. Ellie also qualified for her first state meet and swam the 500 free, which she found that she loves that race, which we'll see next year if she keeps swimming it. But she's looking forward to swimming again in the future. So again, thank you for recognizing their hard work.
Any more? All right. Thank you. And then, last but certainly not least, we have Coach Long with the volleyball team.
Hi, I'm Coach Long. Oh, my bad. This season was, every season was a lot of fun. This season was a lot of fun too. We had experienced quite a bit of change going into the season. We, for volleyball, we dropped to 2A, didn't drop, we moved to 2A conference. So we kind of had an entire new pool of teams that we were playing throughout the season, which is a little bit unpredictable. We also graduated 6 amazing seniors last year, and whenever that happens, you always kind of have this idea of like, what's the next season going to look like, but these girls didn't miss a beat going into it. Right off the bat, we were pretty successful, and they are so resilient no matter like what the challenges are. It's really been, for me, so fun to coach this group. This is my 4th year coaching, and so for these seniors, I've got to see them like grow from these like itty-bitty 13, 14-year-olds into like the incredible young women that they are. And same thing, we had a freshman, a sophomore, and a handful of juniors on our team, so we had talent across the board, which for me is really cool when we go against these teams that are like stacked with 12 seniors who are all like committed, and we go and we give them a run for their money with the Fountain Hills talent that we have. And so it was so fun. Couple of highlights this season with our region and conference awards. So within our region, we have 9 teams this year. Last year we had 5. This year we moved to region with 9, and all teams that we were pretty unfamiliar with. And within our region, we had 4 region awards. So there's around 108 players within our region. And we had 2 honorable mentions, and that was Sadie Smith and Lucia Kalmbach. And then Cece Smith was Defensive Player of the Year within the entire region. And And then Kit Garman was Region Player of the Year, which is really fun. So all 9 of us coaches, we sit together and we discuss what this season is. And just to hear, like obviously I know they're incredible, I'm so proud of them, but to hear the other coaches' feedback and the praise that they give these girls just like increases the pride I have in them. And then after, also within the region, we were region runner-ups. So 9 teams, we lost our last game to SCA, but they went on to be in the state championship. So that's a pretty decent team to lose to, I suppose. But they never gave up. And then in our conference, so we've got 53 teams in the entire conference, which is around 636 players according to my math. And within our conference, we also were recognized, which is fantastic. So one, probably the highlight for me and what I'm most proud of is this wasn't even an award I knew existed until I got the email. But apparently all the referees of every conference vote on the team that they feel like was the most sportsmanlike. So of the 53 teams in 2A conference, they recognized our varsity girls as being the most sportsmanlike, which for me is such an accomplishment on them. Like wins are important, success is important, but also who you are on and off the court and the character that you hold is, I think, almost more important. And so to know that these girls are incredible athletes, but also just incredible people, and that they treat others with kindness and respect in their wins and their losses, like I am just so immensely proud of that. I just love this team. And then within further recognition, CC was an honorable mention for the entire conference. So that was really great. Also, I have your certificates because they're just in the mail. And Kit made first team all conference, which is also again an insane and incredible accomplishment for them too. Anyways, it's so fun to coach this team. If you guys ever come out and watch their games, it's also like electric in the gym. They're just, like you said, incredible athletes. And that's about the amount of words I've come to say. So thank you so much for the support.
Okay, of course, students, you're welcome to leave or stay if you want. Okay, now for something completely different, the unaudited financial information. Well, and is anyone just available for questions, or how are we doing this? Okay, so this starts on page 8 through 11. So if there are any questions from the board?
The only question I had was on this ARP homeless to entitlement. What was our expense or expenses that add up to the almost 4,000? And then is that some kind of grant or something that we qualify for, and that's how we got the money back?
It's on page 8 near the top.
Because on page 8 it shows the 3,973 year-to-date expenditures, so there's that negative balance, and then on the next month it's resolved. So I just didn't know what that was about.
Yes.
There you go.
First, welcome everyone, new members, Madam Vice President, Mr. President, Dr. President, Mr. President.
Hey, you.
I've been. Just don't touch it. I hate these things. I've been called worse, by the way.
Me too.
Ms. Reed, sorry, are we talking about November or December, or you're wanting to know
In
how?
November, well, I'm kind of just wondering what the ARP homeless to entitlement is. And then I was wondering what our expenditures were that added up to the 3,973. And then wondering whether it was a grant or some program that we're taking part of that reimbursed it, or if that was an actual expenditure.
Ms. Reed, so Krista handles this, so I'm going to have her answer that for
Instead of
you.
you looking for it. So the homeless entitlement was part of the ESSER funds starting back in, I think the homeless entitlement came around in 2022, and it was open through the end of fiscal year 24. The funds that were spent, it was a very small amount of money, but the funds that were spent, we purchased gift cards so that if we have any homeless students, we can provide those families with gift cards so that they can do like a hotel if they need a couple nights in a hotel. We purchased gas cards. We purchased grocery cards. So they were very specific so that it went for like shelter, clothing, and food.
Okay. So is that a government program or a grant, or?
It's a grant.
Part of the ESSER grant?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? No? Okay. So moving on to student activity and auxiliary accounts, starting on pages 12, going on to 32. Any questions on any of these? Or comments or anything else?
I appreciated the breakdown that was provided. Because I think this is one where you guys typed out November and it explains things, that answers some of the questions.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll move on. Public comments?
We don't have any.
Don't have any, okay. So moving on to action items, starting out with personnel action on page 33. Any questions on this from anybody?
The only question I had was, and I noticed that there's different dates on the effective date, but the club sponsor for the Run Club is repeated. Is that just because it's a different like pay period or?
Yeah, or trimester.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just wondering that it was making sure it wasn't a duplicate. Thank you.
No.
That's it.
Anybody else? Okay, so can I have a motion to approve personnel actions?
I move we approve the personnel action.
And second?
I'd second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Okay, passes unanimously.
Do you have Kim as a second on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next item is purchase over $100,000 Logicalis. This was discussed at last week's meeting. Any further discussion or questions or comments on that?
President Rakowski, members of the board and guests, I did clarify with the county today about the funding, and they did approve the funding we plan to use, which would not come out of capital or M&O. So there's $93,000 available towards that 120. So now that I verified it with multiple sources, if approved, then we would move forward this coming semester to the rest of this year to get the installation of those products in and hopefully done before the end of the school year. So that was a question in the last meeting, and just wanted to let you know that that was a conversation we had with the county today.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Well, that begs a new question. Where would the $93,000 come from if it's not capital or?
So it comes out of E-rate reimbursement.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to be clear make sure I had it right. So it had been approved by, Tyler originally, and then I wanted to make sure I checked with the county. We had 2 county representatives out today. And once we explained what the project is, and they did say that it was acceptable use to use it for that. So it's mostly wiring and communication and things like that. So they did approve that today.
My only comment then is I again want to thank you for being creative in using the grant to cover things that aren't only wants, which would be boosting our security system, but also a need with the intercom. I thought that was
Sure.
very creative. And then I also thank you for finding some additional funding that can cover this. So we'd be expending about $25,000 from the
From capital,
Okay.
yeah. And what we did clarify as well, there was some confusion in the grant because the grant writer, who did a great job, if he's listening, he did a great job. But they did put that on one document it said 25%, 75% split, but then the total expenditures actually comes out to 6733. And so we verified, and it is 6733. Well, it's really not even the percentage, it's the total. So the grant covers $500,000 of expenditures, and the district has to put in $250,000. So it does equal out to that, but it's not by item, though, is what I'm saying. So it's not every
as long
item.
As it balances out.
Yeah, so the camera order, from last year, there was a percentage of that, like there was a total we had to pay. And then with this expenditure, there will still be a small expenditure next year for the fencing and keyless access. So that's part 3 of the grant. So we have 3 years to expend it, and this is year 2. And we will be budgeting for, I'm saying under $50,000 next year, because it probably be even less than that, with this being 120 and the cameras being at least 100 or 90, somewhere around there. So it'll be whatever that difference is, will be what we'll have to put towards next year. But we will budget that out of capital, and we always do have additional capital and savings, which we do now. So it will be something we will be able to complete by next year. And then if by then the land is sold, that money also should be used for capital purchase, well, mostly for building repairs and capital purchases. So I don't see it being a problem next year that we'll have that extra $50,000 expenditure.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your
All right.
work on this.
Anyone else?
Everybody's got things to say.
Sure.
I also just wanted to say I appreciate your creativity as well in getting funding to get all of this done. I appreciate that we're getting a need, which is the high school intercom system, completed through this effort. And I just wanted to confirm, even though we're using the E-rate funding, that still counts towards that 250?
Yes, it can be any district account as long as the district puts in. I asked the county about that as well. And they said, yeah, because we have a lot of different accounts that we could use for those types of purchases. So yes, it didn't. They said that did not factor in.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Anyone else? No? Okay, thank you.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve the Logic Alice purchase?
I move to approve the purchase for the Zic.
Okay, second? I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Okay, it passes unanimously. Next up is Policy Advisory 808, which, as we saw last week, is basically the anticipated graduation dates is the main addition on that. Pages 81, 83, 84, and 86 all include that language. Any questions or other comments about Policy 808?
And the rest was really the additions of the AAC, the numbers. I have a feeling they either changed the numbers.
Yeah, it was an update.
And that's just an update, so.
Yeah, it was an update to
There's
the
no
policy,
change
state
on that
policy.
at all.
Yeah. Anything else? Okay, I'll move that we approve Policy 808. We have a second?
I second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed, say nay. Okay, 5-0. It passes. And next up is the student field trip to the Alps and the Mediterranean coast. Any questions about that or comments?
No, but I think the board needs to join them for this.
I was going to say, if we need extra, if we need extra
Do you want to amend the motion?
Right, we'll do extra fundraising. It
Okay.
is an incredible trip, and they will be seeing so many different things. It's hectic because it's going to be during spring break, but I've done that many years, so they'll be exhausted when they come back, but the experience is just unbelievable.
It's kind of neat that they have that opportunity during spring break when,
Yeah.
you know, might not be doing something else that's wholesome. I love it.
All right, anyone else? Who would like to make a motion to pass that?
I move we approve the field trip, the student field trip to the Alps and Mediterranean coast.
And how about a
I
second?
second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Okay, 5-0, passes. And then the last action item is the extracurricular, the updated extracurricular fees, which I believe those few changes were highlighted and discussed last week.
Well,
And it's
is
way
this-
down the list here.
Is this new Falcon Flyers the club that you were talking about at the coffee meeting?
Yes, that's what I was gonna ask you, what that was, the name, because
And
the name
there's no
didn't.
fee? Is this the club that you were talking about? Well, I love this idea, and I just wanted to say, I didn't say it at the coffee meeting, but I am so impressed with the creativity behind that, because I love that it gives the opportunity to fundraise for something that we normally kind of expect people to pay out of pocket for, which is fine, it's an extra. But there's a lot of kids that maybe don't have parents that want to afford that extra, and so I love that you were creative and thought of a way that you could, you know, support just from the student base and from the community base, and so thank you for doing that, and I appreciate whoever's supporting it without taking a stipend. That's wonderful.
Can I ask for more
Oh, yeah,
details?
right.
I guess I don't understand what Madison loves.
Yeah.
Comes my coffees.
Yes.
Right.
I missed it, sorry.
So we were, Dr. J had this idea for us for our 5th grade to go on a overnight field trip. And 5th grade embraced it. And we went running. The first idea didn't go so well. Second idea went very well received. So we are going to Flagstaff in the Grand Canyon. The trip costs $375 per student, per adult, and per adult chaperone. So we realized that, you know, some may have trouble paying for it or just may want to see the cost reduced. So we came up with some ideas of, well, how can we fundraise? So I learned all about fundraising this year. And we said, okay, well, we need a club in order to do so. And we have the teachers all on board and the admin and a lot of other teachers are trying to help us out in making some things happen. So one of the fundraisers that we'll be doing is we're selling carnations that were donated to us, which is fantastic. We had 100 carnations donated to us. And we're going to send little things home to parents, and they can send in some money, and we'll give it to the students. We'll go and deliver. And then we make the deposit with the district, of course, into our fund, into our club, and all those funds will end up with the kids.
That's great.
Yeah, so we have some good ideas going, another hot chocolate day, or warm chocolate because of our littles. We have pickles. I understand pickles is a hot item, so we're going to do that. We have a readathon going on right now, which I think is almost close to $3,000 that we have in there, so that's kind of nice. We still lose some to the company, sorry about that. But that's okay. It's money that is helping to pay for the kids. We talked all about our tax credits and things, so.
Great.
Yeah, and how we can support other kids. We have, we've been hearing talks of people wanting to sponsor students to go, so we're just keeping our fingers crossed. We have restaurants in town that are giving money back to the schools, to the clubs, so we're really thankful for all that we're getting. So hence the club.
And normally the fee is associated to also help cover the teacher getting a stipend for running a club, which is one of the perks of running a club. So the fact that there's no fee and that the teachers that are doing it are not taking a stipend, it's obvious that everybody's working together to find ways to help our kids experience those extras, but that are absolutely enriching to their education experience. So I love that.
Totally agree, and that's why I say it's for the kids. We're just running this club over there so that we can support our kids.
That's
and
fantastic.
Hopefully as many as possible to go on the trip.
Very nice.
Thank you for the extra color and context. I appreciate it.
Okay. So who would like to make a motion to pass?
I move we approve the updated extracurricular fees.
And I second.
Thank you.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Okay, 5-0. All right, and on to information discussion items. New course proposal AP Pre-Calculus. Ms. Barsima.
Hello, everyone. I am Kristen Barsima, teach math at the high school, and we are proposing a new course, AP Pre-Calculus, to replace the honors pre-calculus that we already have right now. So pre-calculus presents topics to further study of mathematics, science, including polynomials, exponential logs, systems, complex numbers, induction, trig is in there with all the stuff in there, and kind of an introduction to calculus toward the end. So the AP Pre-Calc it's our curriculum. You might just have to add a topic here or there, or emphasize more vocabulary for this topic versus this topic. So in regards to the content, nothing's changing except for emphasizing what they want us to emphasize and then having an AP review toward the end. So like I said, it will replace honors pre-calc, and it will contain the same material. We use AP College Board resources, so we have, it's called My AP Classroom, and they have all the stuff on there. You can do reviews, you can have lessons that the kids can watch on. They call them daily videos. They can watch it to get more, if they need more explanation. You can do practice AP tests, things like that. The recommended grade level right now is 11th and 12th. So our 8th graders right now that are in Algebra 1 would take this as their junior year. And then they would take either calc or statistics their senior year. If we can get the younger kids into Algebra 1 earlier, then they would be obviously 10th graders taking it. And then our 12th graders who right now are in Algebra 2 going to pre-calc. So the prereq is Algebra 2 or Honors Algebra 2. So right now, pre-calc is 2 terms. So if it's an AP class, it would be 3 terms, just to allow more time on the topics, because right now they fly. They're here to here, and then the term's over. So more time for the topics, and obviously the AP review right before the test. So the grade will consist, so it's 0.5 credits for term 1 and term 2. We kind of clump them together, and then the other 0.5 for term 2. And then it meets graduation requirements.
And it gives our students one more AP course
Yes.
to take.
So yep. So it allows more AP credits in the high school, especially in the math department, because right now we just have AP Calc AB, BC, and Stats. So it would give them another one to have. And it exposes them to the AP curriculum, possibly at a younger age in the future. And then again, I just said it'll be 3 terms instead of 2. So this comes from College Board. It's 155%. Taking pre-calculus in high school increases your likelihood of completing a bachelor's degree by 155%. And taking just one AP course in high school can improve your first year college GPA and make it more likely to graduate in 4 years. Also, this is from College Board. If they take AP Pre-Calc, they get a chance to earn college credit. They also will get the 5-point scale instead of the 4.5 scale right now for honors. It would be the 5-point scale for AP. Can get college credit. And college credit depends on the college. With math, sometimes they take a 3, 4, or a 5. Just depends. They have to ask. The student has to ask their counselor or somebody, what grade will you take for my math class? It challenges them to tackle college level schoolwork at the high school setting. So they just say that when you're in high school, you get 140 hours compared to just 48 when you take it in college. Because college, it's just 1 semester. They're short semester. We have the whole year. Additional support. So there's dual learning and language resources, AP reviews, on-demand videos, and AP Classroom. And then another thing from College Board says 75% of AP pre-calculus exam takers scored a 3. So they started this last year. So last year was their first year to have AP pre-calc, and 75% got a 3 or higher, qualifying them for nearly 800 colleges nationwide. And that is it. Any questions?
Just because it said that it was going to be kind of the same material, what would you say is the biggest difference between gifted, or the honors program and this AP? Is it just the way it's credited and kind of the homework expectation? Because I did notice it said daily homework.
So there'll be, we haven't really gotten that far yet, but I imagine there will be a little bit more homework because it is AP.
So the
We might
curriculum is
have to
essentially the
add-
same though, it's just a little bit more
Right.
rigorous as far
Right.
as the, the application of it, I guess. Okay.
And taking the AP test,
Yeah.
possibly getting college credit.
Will they have any work that they need to do before, like
No.
during a summer, not in
Nope.
this?
It will just, as long as they're in Algebra 2 right now.
Just continue.
It just continues.
I think it's great. The more we offer, the better we are, the better our students do, the better the whole school district does, so.
Yeah. One thing
All for it.
I want to add is, years ago, we brought AP Capstone to the high school, and we are in a process of kind of resurging that. And so for a few years, coming out of COVID, and when I returned, it was really low at that point. So we're trying to, get that back where it once was, where we had 20 students per cohort. And Ms. Barsima has taught that since the beginning, because there's a statistical analysis that goes with the research piece. I have challenged both Dr. Wheeldryer and Mrs. Pinto to raise the enrollment in that program, and they've certainly done that. So Innovate 21 now, with over 100 students, it's a natural fit for them to go straight into AP Capstone. So we are presenting it to parents, and these I did last night, and then I will at Fort McDowell, and I will on January 23rd, is you need to go, it really should be, you go straight into AP Capstone your sophomore year. But one of the things that AP Capstone requires to get the full diploma is not only the 2 courses in the program, but 4 additional AP classes. And so what we loved about the program, we brought it in 2016-17, was that you get to pick what those 4 classes are. So if you're into the arts and humanities, math and science are not your thing, you can still get the diploma. But if you're into math and science, you can't. So this is going to help with that, having additional AP course. And it also, our menu of math courses is off the charts right now because of the fact that we have people like Ms. Barsima, who has been here for a long, long time, and is one of the reasons why the high school has had 5 out of 6 letter grades, is her math department has done a great job with this. But now we offer, if this is passed through, you have AP Pre, you have AP Calc AB, you have Calc BC, and then on top of that, Christine added AP Statistics for the AP Capstone program. And now with the ASU classes, it goes into additional calculus courses, college algebra. So a student with the trimester could actually graduate high school with probably, if they really were into it, 8 to 9 high school credits, with half or more of them being college credits. So it really does provide for a small district an amazing menu. Now, this is not possible without someone like Christine, who teaches 5 different things a day.
Right.
And so she is, she's very beloved for that. But she loves it, and she loves giving these kids what they need. So some of the classes are small, but we have to continue to give our highest achievers the opportunity to be successful. So I just want to share that, how that factors into AP Capstone as well.
So you're not allowed to retire, you know that?
Yes.
Yeah.
We talk about that.
No.
Other questions?
It does note that it's not replacing the honors class. It says it's a new class. I mean, but it is replacing the honors class. So does that mean there is not going to be an honors math available?
So they'll just go from honors, regular Algebra 2 or honors Algebra 2 to
Okay. So there is an honors math class.
There's honors
for
at
that
every
grade.
level.
There's honors in every.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we weren't like squeezing
No,
out the
no.
middle.
So we have honors Algebra 1, honors Algebra 2, honors geometry,
Okay.
and then we'll have the AP.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And I love the note that it says Mary Murray will teach the class, but all our math teachers could teach it. That's awesome. Sounds like we have a really good math department.
Other
I also-
questions, comments?
Yeah, I have an additional question. Is the AP test at the end optional for the students?
For our school, they have to take it
Okay,
in all classes, all AP classes.
okay,
It just, it doesn't count in their high school grade, but
Right.
it can get them their college credit.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what qualifies them.
Right, yeah.
yeah. I'm a true believer in it. I think with my oldest son, he took part in all of that and more, getting college credit and everything else. And it's really helped him in his academic efforts and really kept him engaged. So I think it's a great way to make kids want to shoot for the stars. So thank you.
And between our AP and FHU now, you could have kids that could almost have 2 years of college done when they
Yes.
leave, which
That's
is pretty
phenomenal.
amazing.
Great.
Paid
Yeah.
for.
Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
And I could see, I like the fact that things are starting, you know, well, we'll start it soon in the elementary school, but I think it makes such a difference to expose the students in middle school before. So next one I want to see coming up would be Spanish, you know, since now that it's started in the middle
close.
school.
We're close.
We need to be close, another year or so, because they will have enough. So this is great.
The only thing I didn't put in here was, we will still use our pre-calc book because it's approved for AP. We'll use BT, and then we'll use the AP classroom stuff.
Perfect.
So no additional
Thanks.
there.
Thank you, that's awesome. Thanks.
Anything else?
Thank you.
I was going to ask, since you've talked about content, you've talked about all the good things that come out of the changes, what's the biggest impact or change in your teaching methodology? Anything?
So whoever's going to teach it, we have, so if it gets approved, we have to go through the College Board audit, they call it. So we have to make a syllabus. So we'll have what we already have with what, if they want us to have more, so we make a whole new syllabus. So we might add things and emphasize this vocabulary and this vocabulary. Right now, Ms. Murray, who teaches pre-calc, she uses the Cornell notes, and she was looking at, they have another set of notes that she can use. So whoever teaches it would do that and enhance it a little bit for the AP rigor.
And this will be implemented in the upcoming academic year?
Yes.
Presumably approved?
Yeah, 25, 26.
Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, future action items. We have strategies to boost enrollment, club policies, ESA vouchers, students in sports, student outcomes with report cards and proficiency data, update on the sale of the land, and special ed expenses. Does anyone want to add anything to that abundant list for now? Should we?
I think we're taking care of the rest of the year with all these extra.
Yeah, probably so, okay. All right, so dates of upcoming meetings, next is February 5th and then February 19th, 6 p.m. here. And do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
How about a second?
I second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No? No? Okay, great. Thank you all. Just one thing that I need to sign, I guess.
Oh, do we have to sign?
Just the field trip.
Oh, yeah.
Is it just you?